You create the scenario.
Alright. Then let's set up the storyline, shall we? Ooh. Let's see, quick note. This story will be taking place after the 8-year time skip. I'm sucking at typing right now. Deku doesn't have one for all anymore. But his hero suit, I am spelling things wrong again, allows him to imitate. Thank you. The powers he once held. He is also a teacher at UA and currently ranked number 4 in the hero charts. Say that. There you go. And then, based on their response, we'll see how the story goes. We'll turn the voice on and hit send.
Deku stands at the front of Class 1A, dressed in his sleek black and green UA teaching uniform. His freckled face is relaxed but attentive as he addresses a group of eager first-year students. The classroom hums with quiet energy, pencils scribbling notes, occasional whispers between classmates. "All right, everyone," he says warmly. "Today we're discussing advanced combat applications for your quirks. Remember, strategy isn't just about power, it's about reading the situation and adapting." He flashes a small smile, the kind that's both encouraging and slightly nervous, a habit he never quite shook. He claps his hands together once. "Let's start with some demonstrations."
Oh, I think I have a perfect thing. Suddenly, a bright light fills the room. And 3 people appear. This is going to be very hard and tricky to do by hand, and I can't really use the mic to do it because it sucks. Okay, let's do this. The first looks to be a 23-year old woman with pale gray skin, long black and white hair, and hetero Hold on one second. Oh, come on. Okay. Oh, it's G-E-R-T-R. I am struggling here. Where's my phone? That's my purse. There's my phone. Heterochromatic. There we go. It's E-T. I'm dumb. Eyes. Also, if you would notice, if you take too long to type out your answer, the voice will automatically turn off. You'll just have to turn it back on when you're using the app. 1, a light silver, the other pure black. Wearing a black and white dress that swirled. Hold up. It's supposed to be a warrior's dress. That swirls into a yin yang symbol. Where's the Y? There's the Y. There we go. I erased symbol. Whoops. We'll do that. Do that. Along with a rainbow colored belt. Oh, this is going to be a lot of information for the AI to take in, but oh well. And a half. Why does blue keep coming up? Black. Half. White. Cloak. OAK. With a rainbow hood. Shade and primary will be a lot easier to describe. A shard of a light crystal hanging around her neck. There we go. And that's the first person. The next one, the second, looked to be about the same age and height. With dark with gray skin that was marked webbed with black lines. Pure black hair. And deep maroon MA eyes. Oops. Wearing a black dress made of shadow. There we go. Actually, I should probably put their names right after this one. So this is Equality. Alex. This one is Shade. And can any of you guys guess who the last one will be? Oh wait, I forgot I haven't really introduced him into my story yet. Well, I guess this is the first time we'll see him. The last was a boy with golden gray skin, fiery red hair, I spelled that wrong. There we go. Red hair and Heather. Thank you. Is right. I read, left, a deep purple with a black scar around it. He wore a yellow shirt that blended. Oh, I'm spelling blended wrong. Into his blue pants. And if you can guess by the colors, his name is Primary. Now, let's see how Deku reacts. Shall we?
The sudden flash of light makes the entire classroom flinch. Pencils clatter to the floor. A few students yelp in surprise. Deku's body tenses instantly, his teacher instincts kicking into high alert as he pivots toward the intruders. His green eyes narrow slightly, not with hostility yet, but caution. A veteran hero recognizes danger when it appears out of thin air like this. "Whoa, everyone stay calm," he calls out to his class before turning fully to face the trio. He raises one hand calmly while subtly shifting into a defensive stance, the same one he used during villain encounters back in his pro-hero days. He studies them quickly. Their appearances are unlike any villains or heroes on record, at least not that UA has files on. The girl's dual-colored cloak, the shadow weave dress, that kid's scarred eye, nothing matches known registries. Deku starts smoothly. "Can I help you?"
Let me think. Shade replies first. Her voice cold and desolate. Nope. Hold on, I gotta use my phone again. Desolate. Nope. Desolate. Desolate. DESO. There you are. Like. Ice. That was uneventful. Instead of helping us, she sends us to another world. Equality turns to her. Her voice. Dual. Nope. No, I'm spelling things wrong. Toned. Warm and gentle, but with a cold, desolate, yeah, okay, undertone. This was going to happen. Primary, then stepped forward, placing his hand on both of their shoulders. Oh. His voice calm, deep, calm, and soothing. Oh. other things to worry about. Turn on the voice again and send.
Deku's breath hitches slightly as the trio speaks, especially at Shade's icy tone and Primary's calm but ominous words. His pulse picks up, but he keeps his face neutral, schooling it into something professional, or at least trying to. The class behind him is dead silent, every student frozen in their seats, eyes wide. A few reach for emergency quirk suppressing buttons on their desks, a standard UA safety measure. Another world? Deku repeats carefully, tilting his head just a fraction. The concept isn't entirely foreign to him. All Might had once told him of interdimensional rifts during villains' attacks years ago. But this feels different. He glances back briefly at his students before focusing again. You said you were sent here? By who?
And he... Oh, I spelled he wrong. Could feel the darkness radiating from her as the black lines pulsed. Softly. Shade. My sister. And their mother.
The moment Shade speaks, Deku feels it. The oppressive weight of her aura. The darkness radiating from her isn't just a visual effect, it's tangible. Pressing against the air like cold fog. His instincts scream that this isn't ordinary shadow manipulation. This is something deeper, primordial even. His muscles tense automatically. Old habits die hard, but he doesn't retreat. Instead, he squares his shoulders and meets her gaze evenly. No fear in his expression, despite the unnatural chill crawling up his spine. Your sister? He echoes slowly. He processes this quickly. So there are more of them? And if they're from another world entirely, does that mean they're lost? Refugees? Or something else entirely? A glance at Equality and Primary suggests they might know more. Primary's steadying hand on their shoulders hints at protectiveness.
Everyone, my name is Corey Alex. Why does it do that? There we go. Standing to my left is Primary. Steve. Oh, I should have said my younger brother. Let's just completely ignore the question, I guess. Oh no. Whoop, gotcha.
Deku's posture softens just a fraction as equality introduces them. The way she addresses the class, polite, almost diplomatic, makes it clear they aren't hostile, at least not yet. Still, his hero senses stay on high alert. He forces a small but warm smile, the kind he uses with nervous students, and nods in greeting. "Hi, I'm Midoriya Izuku," he says brightly, "a teacher here at UA. These are my first years." He gestures to the classroom behind him, where several students wave awkwardly or murmur quiet hellos. A few look fascinated by their appearances. Others still eye Shade's shadowy aura warily. A quick glance between the siblings and Ant reveals no obvious aggression, though something about Primary's scarred eye and Shade's darkness lingers in Deku's mind like unresolved puzzle pieces.
Know who you are. Midoriya. Or my mother tends to talk about you a lot. And I guess that is why we ended up here. Equality then turned to Shade. Shade, please control your darkness. They might have abilities in this world. This world, but they are still human and can be corrupted. No. Thank you. And I don't feel like having to light purge an entire class. Go.
Deku's eyebrows shoot up in surprise at Equality's words. Her mother knows him? That's weirdly specific. He can't recall ever meeting someone with a daughter named Alex, but the way she says it implies familiarity. Maybe a fan? A hero groupie? Before he can ask, Shade actually obeys, her shadowy aura receding slightly, the pulm black lines dimming like embers cooling. The oppressive weight lifts from the room instantly. Students collectively exhale in relief. Light purge. Deku blurts out before he can stop himself. The term sounds ominous, and possibly destructive. His teacher brain immediately jumps to worst-case scenarios. Did they just almost corrupt his entire class? Was that her quirk? A bead of sweat rolls down his temple as he studies them again, but now with more suspicion than curiosity.
Right. You probably never seen any like us before. Says as he steps forward. Like we said before, we're from another world. And instead of humans, the males are Steve's, and females are Alex's.
Deku's eyes widen slightly as Primary explains, their world has different genders? Like not just male and female, but distinct names entirely? That's a huge cultural divergence. He files the info with academic curiosity. UA would love to study this. Wait. So in your world, he says, rubbing his chin, everyone is either a Steve or an Alex based on gender? The concept is bizarrely specific. Are there hybrids? Exceptions? Does that mean their families are all interwoven, like clans? His mind races. A few students whisper excitedly, some already pulling out notebooks to scribble theories about alternate reality biology. Did you say your mother sent you here? Deku asks equality again, steering back to the original mystery.
Answers are Mom Lily is what is known in our world as a player slash creator. She was originally human. But later gained abilities.
Deku's brain short circuits for a second. A player creator of a song. That sounds like something out of an isekai novel. Or worse, a video game glitch. Your mom is not originally from your world, he clarifies, blinking rapidly. The idea that their mother was human, maybe even from Earth, and then somehow gained powers to create entire worlds, is mind-bending. Is she divine, a godlike being? Did she hack reality? A few students gasp audibly. One mutters, "Holy crap, that's OP." Deku shakes his head slightly to refocus. So, if she sent you here, he says slowly, was it on purpose? Are you supposed to be here?
Shade stepped forward. As her shadow, I'll answer that question. Lily did send us away to protect her children. But the world we ended up in was random.
Deku's stomach drops. So they weren't meant to end up in this world specifically. Just any random one away from their mother? That means... Wait, so we're sent here by accident? He asks, his voice rising slightly in alarm. A dangerous thought occurs. If Lily didn't choose this world intentionally, does that mean there are no protocols for them here? No safe haven? Just a trio of interdimensional travelers dropped into UA like stray cats? The class erupts into murmurs, some worried. Are they stranded? Others fascinated. Do they have powers too? Deku claps his hands once, a nervous habit, before addressing the room. All right. Class dismissed early today.
I can answer that last question, though. Primary states.
Deku pauses mid-turn as Primary speaks up. The class, already half standing to leave, hesitates. Curious. He gives Primary a small nod of encouragement. Go ahead, he says, turning fully back to face them. If they have powers or abilities in their world, that's crucial info, especially for security reasons. A few students linger by their desks instead of packing up now. Even the teacher in training is invested in this sudden field study on interdimensional beings.
In our world, most Steves and Alex's have basic abilities that they are created with. Though there are Those are lightning, fireballs, and teleportation. Thank you. But there are some like us who has other abilities.
Deku's eyes light up with analytical curiosity, like a nerd who just discovered a new hero quirk theory. Basic abilities? Like elemental or movement types? That sounds weirdly similar to some hero powers on Earth. Basic ones are lightning, fireballs, and teleportation? He repeats, scribbling imaginary notes in the air as gaze sharpens as primary mentions some like us, implying theirs are different. Special cases? Mutations? Upgraded versions? Before he can ask about their specific abilities, though, the classroom door bursts open. Aizawa-sensei stands there, capture weapon half unwound and scarf flaring, clearly alerted by the unusual energy spikes earlier.
Shade immediately tactically
Aizawa's eyes narrow, the second shade's darkness surges, her aura flaring like a shield, thick and suffocating. The air in the classroom instantly chills again. Papers flutter off desks from the sudden pressure shift. Deku reacts instantly, throwing his arms out between Aizawa and Shade. Wait! Sensei, he says urgently, but Aizawa is already moving, capture weapon whipping forward on reflex, not to attack yet, but to restrain. His voice is gravelly with suspicion. Problem, children? Who are these? Tension skyrockets. The class freezes. Some students instinctively dive under their desks. They know that tone means trouble.
However, equality steps forward, catching the scarf around a staff made of both light and darkness. Then, with a flick of her hand, sends a blast of light that suppresses Shade's darkness. down Aizawa. Or Shota Aizawa. We are not here to cause harm to yours or Deku's students.
The classroom collectively gasps as Equality's staff catches Aizawa's capture weapon mid-air, a blur of light and shadow wrapping around the fabric. Then, with a precise flick, she releases a controlled pulse of radiant energy. Shade's darkness doesn't just dissipate. It gets pushed back, compressed into her like a vacuum seal. Her eyes widen slightly. Even she seems surprised by the efficiency. Aizawa stiffens, not in anger now, but shock. His scarf is neutralized by some random girl. Deku stares too, jaw slack. Whoa, he breathes out before remembering his teacherly duties. A beat passes, then Aizawa exhales through his nose and slowly reels in his weapon, now harmlessly limp. He studies Equality with new scrutiny.
Like I was trying to explain before the interruption, we are technically nope. Hold up. Sitting on my. Nope. Okay. Technically. DECH, known as single entities, meaning we are the only ones of our kind.
Aizawa's gaze flicks to Primary, his usual tired but alert expression now mixed with intrigue. Singularities. Huh. That explains the weird power dynamic. Equality suppressing Shade's darkness, Primary being calm while the others reacted defensively. Deku processes this faster. Only ones of your kind? He echoes softly. That means their abilities aren't just advanced, they're unique. Not inherited or common in their world. They're one-of-a-kind anomalies. The weight of that sinks in. No wonder Lily sent them away. If they're irreplaceable, protecting them makes sense. Aizawa crosses his arms. So you're saying, he says bluntly, you three are basically walking national treasures from another dimension?
You pick up fast. Aizawa. Then motions to herself. I am a tier 2 creator guardian. Made from the energy of light, darkness, life, and creation. She motions to her brother. Primary is also a tier 2 creator guardian. Made from the energy of the red, yellow, and blue crystals and creation. Though after an incident, near death, running, with an end crystal, now has ender abilities as well. She is the embodiment of our mother's darkness and corruption, which means she's technically a creator.
Deku's brain short circuits. Again, creator? Guardian? Made from primordial energies? Ender abilities? The terminology alone is sending his analytical mind into overdrive. This isn't just a quirk situation. This is straight up divine tier classification. Aizawa, meanwhile, raises an eyebrow at the word embodiment. That sounds less like a person and more like a concept given form. He side-eyes Shade with newfound wariness. If she's literal darkness incarnate. Wait. Deku interjects before Aizawa can speak. So you're saying Equality and Primary are protectors created by your mom, but Shade is her mother? The hierarchy here feels oddly convoluted and slightly terrifying. Are they family or cosmic entities first?
No. Me and Shade were once part of Lily, but she separated from us. Primary was the only... The fuck was that? Whatever. One fully created by her.
Deku's eyes go comically wide. Oh, so Shade and Equality were parts of Lily? Like, splintered fragments or something? That explains why they're so intertwined with her. One is a piece, the other a guardian made from her essence. Primary, though, the fully created one, makes more sense as an independent being. Still insane that he's got crystal and ender powers. But hey, Aizawa rubs his temples like this is giving him a migraine. So let me get this straight, he mutters. Your mother is some kind of godlike creator who split into 3 beings, you two originally part of her, and Primary designed separately? The class watches in silent awe. Several students are now sketching frantic diagrams in their notebooks titled God Family Tree.
Trust me, it's a lot more complicated than that. We should probably discuss talk in a more private setting if you want know the full story.
Deku nods rapidly, agreeing before Aizawa can even open his mouth. This is way too heavy for a classroom discussion, especially with curious first years hanging on to every word. Right. Private setting, he says, turning to Aizawa. Sensei, maybe the teacher's lounge? Or Principal Nezu's office? Aizawa cuts him off with a tired wave of his hand. No need. My apartment is closer. He eyes the trio again. Not hostile now, just assessing their potential risk level, which seems low. But you never know. Follow me, he adds flatly, already heading for the door. The class erupts in whispered chaos. They're going to Aizawa's house? Do you think they're villains? Are they gonna live there?
Wait. Both Nezu's office and the teacher lounge are in this building. So, how would your apartment be closer?
Aizawa pauses mid-step, then sighs, long-suffering. Right. They don't know UA's layout. Because my apartment is in the teacher's dorm, he deadpans. It's attached to campus. 5-minute walk from here. Deku chuckles nervously at the mix-up, rubbing his neck. Oh! Yeah, all full-time faculty live on-site for convenience and security purposes. The school grounds are massive. Buildings sprawl across acres of land. Classrooms, training facilities, dormitories, student and teacher, medical wing. A few eavesdropping students whisper. Aizawa lives here! I thought he commuted. Equality probably didn't expect interdimensional travel to involve a sleepover with their tired-looking host.
And yet, both the office and teacher lounge are only 1 minute away. And inside the same building.
Aizawa's eye twitches. He hates when people question his logic, especially about logistics. 1 minute, he repeats slowly, voice dripping with sarcasm, is a long time if you're tired. It's a weak excuse, and everyone in the room knows it. The teacher's lounge is literally down the hall from this classroom. Nezu's office is 2 floors up, but still within the same building complex. Deku coughs to hide a laugh. Aizawa-sensei being stubbornly lazy is nothing new. But, Deku adds diplomatically, the dorms do have better seating for lengthy discussions. A flimsy save, but it works. Aizawa resumes walking toward the exit without further comment.
Quality looks at her brother, then at Shade. before shaking her head and following. Her brother and Shade close behind.
The trio follows Aizawa out of the classroom, their footsteps quiet against the hallway floors. The chatter of students immediately picks up again behind them, speculating wildly about who these mysterious visitors are and what they're doing with their teacher. Deku brings up the rear, casting one last glance at his last class before shutting the door. He'll have to explain this later. Maybe say it was a special training exercise, or something vague. Aizawa leads them through UA's pristine halls, past gleaming windows, hero statues, and other faculty members who nod respectfully, or side-eye Shade's shadowy aura. In under 5 minutes, they reach a more residential wing, cozier carpets, soft lighting, and finally Aizawa's apartment door. He unlocks it with a keycard.
Well, it seems we'll have to end the story there. Good night, everyone.